Gavin Newsom just keeps getting worse. Let's analyze it.
And look at what the leader of California said. Did he really say slow Shirley is the fraud?
Yes, he did.
After massive fraud was exposed in California, Newsom insulted the people that helped uncover it. And of course, he used the situation to play the role of the tough guy.
We take fraud seriously. We don't politicize it like these guys.
And today, we're covering it all. So let's get right into it.
This is one of the most important things that we could be doing right now as a Congress. And it comes right to me, another Republican, because there's not another Democrat here to question any of you who represent a wide swath of the political spectrum, I imagine. And look at what the leader of California said. Did he really say, in response to you uncovering just astronomical fraud and waste, that, and I want to quote this because I am appalled by it. Did he really say slow Shirley is the fraud?
Yes, he did.
I didn't misread that. That wasn't misprinted.
No.
So
directly from
somebody that wants to be the leader of the Democratic Party and show his great, I guess, character is demeaning you and calling you names and ridiculing you. Really?
Yes, that is Gavin Newsom.
Now, Newsom's office didn't just disagree with Nick. They went after him personally. You see, after Shirley released his video exposing suspected fraud in California's hospice system, the governor's press office posted an AI image portraying him as some creepy guy outside a daycare asking to see people's kids. They later dismissed coverage of his work as, quote, MAGA slop. Then, barely a month later, California announced a $267 million hospice fraud case, while state investigators visited 14545 Friar Street in Van Nuys, the exact building Nick had highlighted because dozens of companies were registered there. They even acknowledged Nick's video prompted the visit, while insisting, quote, most potential fraud is happening at the federal level and doesn't affect the state. You seriously can't make this stuff up, folks. First, they mocked Shirley for raising the alarm. Then investigators showed up at the exact location he put on camera.
I would suggest that anyone could see what this is. This is, oh my goodness, we just got caught. Let's throw out a bunch of blood in the water, go after other people, make sure people blame it on somebody else, but don't pay attention to us. What is that, like ink?
Yes, and actually Gavin Newsom just yesterday, he's giving now $20 million to local journalists. They're going to be able to get grants up to $250,000 to do journalism inside of California. He's essentially paying for good press with our tax dollars as well.
I have to also commend my other colleague, Mr. Johnson, who was saying, you know, in California, instead of the Stop Nick Shirley Act, they should call it Protect Fraudsters Act. I mean, truly, this should be a wake-up call to everyone in America. Their response is not to say, let's roll up our sleeves and dig in. The response is to say, nothing to see here. The person that bringing up is, let me make sure I have this, slow and a fraud himself.
I wish Senator Moody had asked Nick to expand on the press funding, because that part sounds like something straight out of Trudeau's playbook. It's a $20 million program that was announced in July and gives grants to local newsrooms, with Google matching the money, while a separate $19 million taxpayer-funded campaign was created to combat, quote, misinformation about the state. We saw something similar play out in Canada, where Trudeau's government committed hundreds of millions in bailouts for the media industry. And once news organizations started relying on government money to stay afloat, it raises an obvious question about how aggressively they'll scrutinize the same people helping fund them. But despite everything we talked about, Newsom didn't seem particularly interested in addressing the fraud itself. Instead, he used the opportunity to go after the other side and turn the whole thing into political theater.
I mean, come on. This is exhausting. I've never seen anything like this. And so we'll work through the process. We take fraud seriously. We don't politicize it like these guys. Always have. Open hand, not a closed fist. We've been working with them in good faith. They have issues with IHSS, and our issue is Why not IHSS? They're emphasizing prioritizing 2 states on their hit list. That has consistently been on their hit list. But we nonetheless are working with them in the spirit that you deserve, which is a collaborative one. And we're providing the information and have been and will continue to try to root out any corruption and fraud that we see. And if they see something we're not seeing, we'll celebrate and applaud them. And none of us are naive about what's going on out there, all across the country, on their watch. Not just our watch.
The fact that one of the few issues that should unite everyone has somehow turned into another us versus them fight is insane to me. Fraud affects everyone equally, and when one side constantly downplays it or claims the other is only investigating for political reasons, that's dishonest to say the least. For instance, roughly a month ago, the USDA's Anti-Fraud Task Force started looking into potential misuse of SNAP funding in Ohio and Georgia. And guess what? Both states have Republican governors. Ironically, they pushed back too, arguing, quote, the agency's methods were insufficient and incorrectly identified errors. But at least they didn't take the Newsom route and immediately frame themselves as political victims being unfairly targeted. Or worse, attacking the people putting the spotlight on the fraud, which is the exact point Nick brought up next.
I wanted this to be on the record. Never once has a Democrat politician ever congratulated me or said thank you for exposing this, or even reached out to say, hey, maybe come check out what's happening inside of our state. They are quite frankly complicit in the fraud. And that's why none of them are here today. Like,
maybe
what is this?
Complicit, trying to cover up something, aiding and abetting.
100%.
Promoting their own political careers over tax-paying, hardworking Americans. I thank you. There is an entire fraud economy. I thank President Trump and his administration that is uncovering this. It's positive news that they're uncovering more and more of it, but it is sad that we are seeing so much of it. When I came to Washington, I was like, we need to take a machete to all of the bureaucracy, all of this has always been, every time I bring up a problem, the Dem response is, we've always had fraud, or we've always had coercion of individuals, or we've always had this, but they never once say, let's do something about it.
Now, some fraud and waste is bound to happen. It shouldn't be normalized, but that's the bitter reality when you have a government this massive running generous welfare programs. Now, that being said, in the digital age, especially with AI and better verification tools, there's no excuse for letting schemes that could be caught with basic checks drain taxpayers year after year. The Government Accountability Office estimated annual fraud losses could reach $521 billion, with one official claiming that, quote, fraud may be the 6th largest agency that we are funding annually. So, as much as Newsom wants to attack Shirley, guys like him are actually doing the public a favor. Unless politicians get publicly embarrassed for ignoring these problems and realize their jobs could be on the line, don't expect much urgency from them. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on this story. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember, keep thinking.